Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey Thee alone and live according to truth. Paramocha Prabhu Satyam Nityatvamev Kevalam Anuvartamahe Satyam Anujeevam Kevalam Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Namaste, good morning, welcome, Vande Matram, welcome all of you. The topic of this morning's discussion will be on our souls, deputed selves of the Supreme. So, in brief, we are of course going to discuss on our souls, the specialization, what is the significance of this soul, how it is, what is the role. Of course, we are going to discuss it in the light of Sri Aurobindo's philosophy, especially it is based on Savitri. So already we have known Sri Aurobindo quotes here, very interestingly Sri Aurobindo quotes here. On this topic, what we are going to discuss, our souls, deputed selves of the Supreme. Mother, before going to the subject, few lines previously we'll discuss. Before this line, few lines before, we'll have a very nice look at the this golden points. Two brilliant lines we'll see. The unfelt self within, who is the guide. The unfelt self within, who is the guide. The guide self is there, but that is yet to be felt, not yet felt. The unfelt self within, who is the guide, that guides. Up to what it is guiding? The unknown self above, who is the goal. Wait, what is the goal? The unknown self, the self that is not at all known, so it is written unknown self above, who is the goal. So, still in the next quotes, all is not here a blinded nature's task. All is not here a blinded nature's task. It is there, it is very much conscious, and it is of course very conscious power, conscious nature's task. Nothing is blind. So again, few lines we will see on this discussion, very interesting discussion, of course we will see here. Our seeking are short-lived experiments, still in the course. Our seekings are short-lived experiments made by a wordless and inscrutable power. Our seekings, what we are seeking really, our seekings are short-lived experiments made by a wordless and inscrutable power, testing its issues from inconscient night, to meet its luminous self on top truth and bliss. This is the experiment, this is clearly being done. It appears, very interestingly it appears, inscrutable power, of course it is written, it appears at the real through an apparent form, through reality, at the real through apparent form. It labors in its mortal mind and sense. The labor is through mortal mind and sense. Of course, this is everything is mortal here in this lower hemisphere. This is all are apparent, but it is looking, it is peering towards the real through apparent form. It labors in our mortal mind and sense amid the figures of the ignorance. Still one more word is used, capital I, ignorance. Amid the figures of the ignorance. In the single pictures drawn by word and thought, of course, this is stressing upon the mind. Of course, very original, this surface mind. It seeks the truth to which all figures point. It seeks the truth to which all figures point. It looks for the source of light with vision's lamp. The lamp, how it will be able to see, it will look. It looks for the source of light, capital L, through vision's lamp. It works to find the doer of all works. There is a quest, there is a query, there is a vision, there is a peering. So it works to find the doer of all works. So again, we'll try to repeat the two sentences initially we quoted about. The unfelt self within, who is the guide, the unknown self above, who is the goal. All is not here a blinded nature's task. There is a meaning, there is a purpose, there is proper guidance. So it is going on, it is there inside us and above us. Through things, there is a very good connection is there. There is a good, of course, relation is there. All is not a blinded nature's task. A word, A wisdom watches us from on high, because within two firmaments, 2 points, it is the work is going on. That is from inside to the top, unfelt self within and unknown self above. A wisdom watches us from on high. From on high, a wisdom watches us. Then next comes a witness sanctioning her will and works. A witness, capital W, sanctioning her will and works. It is there, the sanction is there from the witness. An eye unseen in the unseen past. An eye, capital E, that is unseen, not yet seen. Nobody has seen it. In the unseen past, the past that is not seeing, that is unseen. There is an influence from a light above, from above, and all there is an influence, capital I, from a light above. There are thoughts remote and sealed eternities. There are thoughts remote and sealed eternities. A mystic motive drives the stars and the suns. Between this dynamism, behind these motives, motives, there is a mystic motive, of course, that drives the stars and the suns. In this passage, from a deep unknowing force to struggling consciousness and transient breath, a mighty supernature waits on time. There are another beautiful word is used by Sri Aurobindo, a mighty supernature. Supernature that is mighty. A mighty supernature waits on time, capital. In this passage, from a deep unknowing force to struggling consciousness and transient breath, a mighty supernature waits on time. Then what happens? An eye unseen, influence from a light. Then there are this mighty supernature. Next, we are going. The world is other than we now think and see. There is a world we are staying in. There is a world, of course, we are thinking of. We see it, we are staying there. But this world is other than we now think and see. What we are now thinking and seeing, the world is other than we think and see. Our lives, we are seeing this world about the other world here in the course of our lives, a deeper mystery than we have dreamed. Really, the surface we have seen, the deepest truth, the truest truth is hidden from our sight, it is veiled. So, our lives a deeper mystery than we have dreamed. Our minds, first the world, then our lives, a deeper mystery than we have dreamed. Our minds are stutters in the race of God. Our mind, what it is actually thinking, this is all our surface, everything is apparent. So our minds are stutters in the race to God. In the race to God, our minds are just stutters, but we think mind is all, and what man is thinks or in the mind is true, but it is only a stutters in the race of God. Then the true subject upon which we are going to discuss, our souls, deputed selves of the Supreme. They are all deputed selves of the, not any government or any company managing director or somebody else, deputed selves of the Supreme. Across the cosmic field through narrow lanes, asking a scanty dole from fortune's hands, and garbed in beggars' robes, that they are wax the one. In beggar's robe, it is written, means totally he is actually making himself invisible. He is actually hiding himself. He is wrapping himself. This is the position. Even in the theater of the small lives, behind the act, a secret sweetness breathes, because he is veiled, he is staying behind the veil. Even in the theater of these small lives, these lives we feel it is great, we are doing something, we have achieved something, but thing is that behind the act a secret sweetness breathes, an urge of miniature divinity, but it is a urge of miniature divinity. Then what happens next, process how it is going on. A mystic passion from the wells of God flows through the guarded spaces of the soul. About the soul now, it's mind, soul, life. After crossing all these things, after describing all these things, here comes to the soul. A mystic passion from the wells of God. From the wells of God, there is a mystic passion flows through the guarded spaces of the soul. This mystic passion from the wells of God, it is flowing through the guarded spaces of the soul. The soul, the guarded spaces are guarded. A force that helps supports the suffering earth. That force, the mystic person, then comes the force. Again, the force that helps supports the suffering earth, because something is there, it has to suffer, because world is abandoned, it is unsafe, it is not safe, it is unheld. So a force that helps, a force that whose characteristic is to help, supports the suffering earth. An unseen yearness and a hidden joy. That force, after this description of the force, an unseen nearness and a hidden joy. So these are the, just imagine how step by step procedure how it is going. There are muffled throbs of laughter's undertones. Muffled, once again, that is once again muffled. Then muffled throbs of laughter's undertones. The murmur of an occult happiness. The murmur of an happiness, but that is occult. That murmur is there. And the throbs that is muffled and of life's laughter's undertone. An exultation in the depths of sleep. In the depths of sleep, there is an exultation. Next, a heart of bliss within a world of pain. So these are the duality, the contrariety is there. A heart of bliss within the heart of pain, an exultation in the deep depths of sleep, the murmur of an occult happiness, muffled throbs of life's undertones. So these are the things. By interestingly, it is described by Aurobindo. An infant nursed on nature's covered breast. An infant nursed on nature's covered breast. An infant again playing in the magic woods. What it is doing? Floating to rapture by the spirit streams. That infant, about the very initiation, beginning only. An infant nursed on nature's covered breast. Then the infant playing in the magic woods. Second, floating to rapture by the spirit streams, awaits the hour when we shall turn to his call. So this is about the soul. It is written. It is awaiting. It is expecting that when we will be able to come to hear its call. Still in the infant nursed in nature's covered breast. Number one, an infant playing in the magic woods. Number two, floating to rapture by the spirit streams, awaits the hour when we shall turn to his call. Very interesting. Really, really. In this investiture of fleshly life, a soul that is a spark of God survives. Initially, we have heard deputed selves of the Supreme, we have already listened. Now, here in the course, a soul that is a spark of God survives. Because survives, the condition is that it is truly immortal, it is actually divine. So from age to age, actually it prepares the birth and the rebirth, it takes care. The person, of course, it is in the passive condition, it guides, it actually drives. The soul that is a spark of God survives, and sometimes it breaks through the sordid screw-in. Sometimes, not always, because it is now passive, mind, life and body, whom soul is supposed to dominate and put into work, actually is to guide. But thing is that these people, this life is almost outwardly governed by the sense of mind and life and the body. So sometimes, here in the youth says sometimes, it breaks through the sordid screen and kindles a fire that makes us half divine. When it is coming, because we are in our true self is, we are the divine, we have the God divinity within us, we are the sons of God and must be Vinaji. His human person, we must grow divine. But thing is that sometimes it is now, of course, a guess or a shadowy guess rather. It is not happened. It has to happen. So still in the course, a soul that is a spark of God survives, and sometimes it breaks through the sordid screen, not always, but sometimes, and kindles a fire that makes us half divine. That fire makes us half divine, because from that only this half divine, then a whole entire divinity we have to grasp. In the body cells there sits a hidden power. Again, once again, in the body cells there sits a hidden power that sees the unseen and the past, and of course plans eternity. Our smallest parts have room for deepest needs. Just imagine, this is there, it is there, it is passive, it is inside us, inside the depth. It has the planning, it sees the unseen and plans eternity, and we have to go. That is the thing.